Hi, I'm Jim Hamilton. I'm a group director with InfoTrends. We're based in Weymouth, Massachusetts. We're a market research firm that looks at the digital production printing marketplace. Today, I'm in New Jersey at Sharp's headquarters looking at the capabilities of the new Sharp Pro MX series. Those are 65 and 75 page per minute devices that will fit very well into in-plant, commercial print, digital print, and quick print types of environments. Sharp's new Pro series does a very nice job for in-plants. First of all, you've got a lot of capabilities built into a relatively small footprint. That includes the ability to feed through the triple air feed very effectively without doubles, without jamming. An EFI front end that makes it very convenient to use. The ability to print edge to edge, top and bottom on a sheet so that with a single knife booklet maker, you can come out of the device with a full bleed booklet. Again, one operator, beginning to end, can handle that with no other finishing operations involved. The Sharp Pro series is a good fit for in-plant types of marketplace because in some cases they're constrained in terms of their overall footprint. So bringing in the capabilities in this series, color printing for short runs and quick turnarounds, the ability to do a full bleed booklet, a very easy to use front end which is built into the device, and then features like the triple air feed, which improve productivity and limit the amount of jams. The ability to print at high speed in color in a very compact footprint with the ability to do a full bleed booklet maker and add on top of that a very easy to use EFI front end that is built right into the device itself. Those things are key differentiators in the marketplace. With the Sharp Pro series, you've got a lot of capabilities built into a very compact footprint. At one end, you have the triple air feed capability, which allows you to draw without double sheet feeds, without risk of jamming, a range of paper stocks all the way from light up to textured, heavier sheets. So the capabilities of the triple air feed allow you really to separate out the sheets with, obviously, air coming in from this vent on this side, this vent here, and then also, once the drawer is closed, coming in from these areas. That opens up the sheets. There's a belt inside here, a vacuum belt, pulls up a single sheet. Again, it can't pick up two, so no double feeding, and then that sheet goes into the device. And that's a key differentiator because many of the other competitors do not offer this kind of air feed capability, and certainly not in the triple air feed that Sharp provides. With the EFI front end, you've got some great capabilities that are right here for the operator to use without having to go to a separate console, everything including the keyboard. So I'm looking at the screen here. I can get back to the Fiery Command workstation, look at the page layouts, page through them using the touch screen, see a bunch of different images. I may orient the screen towards myself. If I want, I could save that differently, use the keyboard here, type it in, hit return, and I'm saved and ready to print. You've got the print engine, which has the capability to print bleed top and bottom of the sheet, and when you combine that with the booklet making capability, you've got full bleed booklets that come out of the device and that are ready to send to the client. Great capabilities for in-plant, small commercial print shops, digital printers who want the ability to do short-run, quick turnaround digital color. So the triple air feed system is really of value, particularly when you're talking about difficult-to-use stocks. So coated, linen, textured types of stocks. Because as you lift up these stocks and use the vacuum feed belt, there's not the opportunity for double sheet feeds. And that's really important when you want to be doing high quality output on higher class substrates. Things like those coated stocks, linens, textures, the ones that you'll be doing high quality brochures on or important promotional pieces. I'm a big fan of print samples, and the samples I have here from Sharp's Pro series will give you a great trip through the capabilities of the product, all the way from binding through various substrates and edge-to-edge printing. So one of the nice capabilities of the Sharp Pro series is the ability to do a full bleed booklet. So if you're doing this with conventional digital printing devices, what you typically have is a white boundary around the page, and design-wise, that's not really ideal. So you'd love to have the capability to print top and bottom edge, and then with a single trim, you've got a full bleed booklet. The The process of creating a full bleed booklet like this with traditional processes means printing out multiple pages, collating those pages. They have to be on larger sheets with crop marks for trimming later on. So once you've collated those sheets together, put them into a booklet maker, stapled them, trimmed them on 3 sides, then you have your full bleed booklet. With the Sharp Pro series, you can do that all in one process from beginning to end, where you bleed top and bottom, you send it through the booklet maker, one trim along the edge means you've got a full page, full bleed booklet, just like this one, coming out of the device, fully ready to use. Now with digital print output, a lot of times you'll see designs that have a white border around the edge. And this is a beautiful print, and yet graphic designers very often would like to go and print fully to the edge. Now you can use a lot of real estate on this sheet of paper like this one, but you still don't have that full bleed to the edge, top and bottom. Here's an example from the Sharp Pro series, and in this case you see you've got a bleed top and bottom. Now it doesn't bleed on these edges, but this is a great design effect, gives you great capability. When you do the full bleed booklets, fold it over, trim here, you see full bleed on all sides. Now what's interesting too is that you can do the same kind of thing with an 8.5 by 11 sheet. Imagine the process direction of the device going like this. Top and bottom, you can do a bleed so that you can get a wonderful looking design like this, breaking away from some of the boundaries that typically happen with digital print output. What I have here are a couple of examples of booklets, both of which are saddle stitched. So you can see the staples right here for a saddle stitch booklet. When you get to a lot of pages with this conventional style of saddle stitching, sometimes it's a little bowed out for this many pages. A great capability is with what is called a square back design here. So looks more like a perfect bound book, but is actually saddle stitched. And the Sharp Pro series has the capability through a plockmatic binder to produce these kinds of booklets that lay flat, store nicely in boxes, and again, have what looks much more like a spine on a perfect bound book. These are examples of some textured papers. So there's a laid paper, a linen paper, and some other stocks that really have a little bit of texture in them. There's a setting on the Sharp Pro series that allows you to get into these nooks and crannies of the sheet. It's called an emboss setting. It's part of the paper controls, and it's not always an easy task for a digital printing system to be able to print on these sort of textured papers, but Sharp has designed the system to make it possible. And so for high value applications where you might be using these for brochures, booklets, mailings, you have the capability to work on these kinds of textured papers that haven't always been that open to digital methods before. So it's been great having an opportunity to visit Sharp's facility in New Jersey and to see some of these great print samples, including this one, which is a favorite of mine because it shows off that great edge-to-edge printing capability.